Don in London, hello. It's December 26th, 2009, Boxing Day, and my videos are all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. And obviously Christmas Day is a very difficult day for people in recovery, or can be, in early days of trying to be sober. I'll just give you my background. Alcoholic, in recovery, one day at a time, 35 years of drinking, and never knowing quite what was going on inside me because of it. First drink did the damage when I was very, very young. It took the edge off, relaxed me, made me sleepy, made me happy, made me something that I wasn't. And that was not in control of my faculties or my senses in the way sober allows me to be. So if ever I'm in control, I don't know. It's just one of those things. But 35 years of drinking, from convivial, joyful to sad and unhappy, all my emotions derived from probably a false base. And when fear was upon me, I suppressed it and had another drink for many, many years. So from conviviality to dependency to addiction. And how does that happen for some people and not for others? Well, some of us seem unable to stop at some point, and it's driven by our emotional condition and our physical condition. So we may have a preponderance towards being addicted, or we just become addicted. But once we are, that's it. There's no going back. It's one of those things. It's a disease or an illness, and we can be in recovery one day at a time. That's what I've found. Some people say recovered, and that's their choice to understand it that way. I have two different opinions from two doctors. One says you're in recovery, one says you're recovered. And you can always go back and have another go if you want to. But do I want to? And do I need to? And the simple answer is no. I neither need or want to go back to drinking. Why? Because the first drink will do the damage. And before I know where I am, I'll be seeking that feeling of oblivion again to cover up the fear, the guilt, the shame of not being able to control it. That's the nature of addiction. We think we haven't got it. Denial will put us back straight away into the malady if we're not careful. And we need to find ways to keep sober. So as long as I keep sober at the top of my list of things to do, my to-do list on a daily basis, I've probably got a good chance of going to bed tonight without a drink. And that might seem a very simple philosophy, because it is. But to actually be in recovery and stay with it one day at a time, and then build up some understanding of what life is, who I am becoming on a daily basis, not who am I identified, and that's me. There will never be a static me unless I go back to drink, which is madness, because then I will be mad again. So I'm finding out who I can be on a daily basis. So progress, not perfection, just on the happy road of destiny. Not to destiny, but of destiny. Of is happening now. And that's so important for me to remember. So Boxing Day, how did I get through Christmas or Christmas Day? And the answer was, I just do a day at a time. So events in my life, there was an all-day meeting, very local to me, at a place called Flood Street, from 9 o'clock in the morning through till 9 in the evening. And I was able to drop in and do some service in the morning. I thought I was going to make tea, but it turned out I was promoted to greeter, and I loved it because it meant I could then go to the first meeting of the day at 9:30. And it set me up for looking at life just the right size, Don size, which is no bigger or smaller than anybody else. And I have choices today, or that day, and every day, to be sober, to be part of, to go to lunch with family, to then have a bit of time to myself for reflection, to go back to the all-day meeting in the evening and listen to another share on what it's like to be in recovery, and see lots of people in recovery, hundreds. So it was a good day yesterday, and gentle, and seeing people I love. So all good. And now Boxing Day, 9 of us coming together for lunch in the family, would be quite good. a little bit about what it's like to be in recovery. Everybody else may be drinking, apart from 2 of the kids, and I'll be alright, because I've learned how to be sober. And what's helped me most of all to be sober today is family, who helped me to stay alive long enough to be here, and to get that moment of clarity, which was I cannot do it on my own. And family, because they're not alcoholics, cannot help often. They can support and keep me alive, but they need not know what it's like to be an addict. And why should they? They're not addicts, and how could they understand it? So I go to people who have the understanding, and they are in fellowship, and that's Alcoholics Anonymous. And I share the preamble or statement of intent about what AA is there to do. It's to find the unique, authentic person in you, so that you can live your life unique and authentically, and gain experience, wisdom, hope, to be yourself, and to live as one is. So this is the AA preamble, and I'll share a reading from the Daily Reflections for today. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And somebody had their AA birthday yesterday, 8 years sober, and it's good to see them, and they said, I know you. And I said, I know you too. And you know, that's the gift. We get to know people who are sober, and we keep sober together. And it's as simple as that. But there are some ways to do it, and there are 12 steps of action which all work in one day, and it takes a while to get used to them. And in this book, Daily Reflections, it covers the 12 steps, 1 step a month, and it obviously step 12 today, all about sharing the message, and also a little bit about what it's like. So it says here, for December the 26th, accepting success or failure. Furthermore, how shall we come to terms with seeming failure or success? Can we now accept and adjust to either without pride or despair? Can we accept poverty, sickness, loneliness and bereavement with courage and serenity? Can we steadfastly content ourselves with the humbler, yet sometimes more durable satisfactions when the brighter, more glittering achievements are denied us? So in other words, be ordinary, and it's extraordinary to be ordinary. And it says here, after I found AA and stopped drinking, it took a while before I understood why the first step contained 2 parts, my powerlessness over alcohol and my life's unmanageability if I were to drink again. In the same way, I believed for a long time that in order to be in tune with the 12 steps, it was enough for me to carry this message to alcoholics. That was rushing things. I was forgetting there were a total of 12 steps in that 12th, and that the 12th step also had that one part. Eventually I learned that it was necessary for me to practice these principles in all areas of my life. In working all the steps thoroughly, I not only stay sober and help someone else to achieve sobriety, but I also transform my difficulty with living into a joy of living. And you know, the gift of, that's the truck going round to the restaurant to pick up the wine bottles, by the way, so that's what the noise is. It makes me smile, actually. Oh dear. But the gift is, you know, the joy of living, or the sadness of living in the day, is to experience the feeling of now. Our emotions get settled, we get settled into a pattern of understanding who we are on a daily basis. And acceptance is the key, and there is a serenity prayer to God or good conscience which helps me on a daily basis, and it's, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. For me is always just for today.